I wanted to start at the beginning. If you could say a few words about what inspired the project, what was the initial spark, how did this whole story begin for you?
The whole story started 7 years ago, in 2006, for 2004, when I read for an exhibition, a picture exhibition, that the Jewish Museum of Greece, an exhibition with pictures and objects of hidden children. Hidden children are Jewish children who were saved, hidden by Christians. I saw that exhibition. I read the testimonies that the old men and the women had given to the museum, and I was moved very much.
Can you say a little bit about the 5 stories that ended up? I'm sure that there's thousands, maybe, I don't know, hundreds of stories.
There are 3 women and 2 men. One story is Rosina's story. Rosina, and 20 years old girl from Thessaloniki, remained hidden for 1.5 years, or 1 year and a half, into an apartment in the center of Thessaloniki. Shelley, another girl from Thessaloniki also, escaped the ghetto, went to Athens, and she changed 17 houses. Every month she had to move to another house. The other girl, Eftichia, from Ioannina, a town with a very big Jewish community before the war also. Eftichia also escaped from Ioannina, went to Athens, and then she hid there also. The other 2 boys, Iosif Sifis from Chania, Crete. He was 5 years old when his family, along with him, left Crete. Hid also in Athens. And Marios, the same age of Iosif, from Athens, Marios. He was the only one of the 5 characters of my film who lost his father. His father was arrested, being sent to Auschwitz, and he died there.
Μια μέρα έφτασε στα αυτιά μας μια κακή είδηση, ότι θα μας εξορίσουν.
Was it difficult to find the stars of the film, or were there many more of them that you couldn't fit inside the film?
It was very easy, in a way, to find the stories. There are a lot of stories. Every one of the Jewish people who are still alive has his own, her own story. I looked for persons who had an interesting story, first of all, a story different from the others, so that the film be interesting. And I looked also for persons who were ready to express themselves, to don't be afraid of expose themselves. Because I was thinking that this film would be interesting only if these stories go back and deep. I want an excavation in their souls, an excavation who finally brought to the light memories and senses hidden, forgotten, and also untold.
What has this film offered today that hasn't been told before, that hasn't been expressed before?
The new element and the interesting of this film was the point of view. The film has the point of view of a child, even though there are old men and women who are talking. You see them as children. You see their faces, their way of expression, that they are like children. You see children through the bodies of old men and women.
Θυμάμαι τη μητέρα μου να μου ξυλώνει το άστρο που είχα στο πέτο του παλτού μου και ξεκίνησα. Και φοβόμουν πάρα πολύ, αυτό το θυμάμαι καλά.
These persons made this trip, this travel back to their childhood. It was a trip with difficulties, with obstacles, with anger, but finally they did it.
The new generation of young Greek people, like teenagers, people in their 20s, how familiar are they with what happened in World War II in Greece, with what happened in their grandparents' generation?
Many of them know about the stories and the adventures of the experiences of their grandfathers and grandmothers. But when they saw the film, they felt this. This was the difference.
Βλέπαμε Γερμανούς στο δρόμο, από το παράθυρο. Ναι, βλέπαμε. Μέσα από το τζάμι.
A lot of young people, young Jewish people especially, told me that I knew that story. I knew the story of my grandmother or of my aunt. I have heard a lot of times it, but it was the first time I felt it. First time I felt her soul. I felt I saw the child. I saw my grandfather as a child. I can imagine now how was she when she was playing. How was she when she was afraid. And it helps me now to understand him or her better now.
Μάρκος 8, Μπουλίσσα 7, Σαμουήλ 3, Άννα 1, Πέρλα 12.
And I guess it is the role of the director to help people to feel the stories. Can you say a few words about the tools that you use to add to the words?
With this kind of films, you must be, first of all, a psychologist or a psychanalyst, not a director. Every interview lasted 3 to 4 days. It was a continuous process. We just stopped for sleeping at night, next morning from the beginning, from the very beginning, not continue, but sometimes a lot of times we started from topics that we had already told about. But I was sure that this repetition had always something new to offer. The editing was a very hard process. It lasted 4 years. During the editing, I was also made the research for archive material. I looked for. I didn't like to use the usual films about Holocaust, about the concentration camps, about the horror of Auschwitz or other camps. I was looking for films with children. This was what I was looking for. So I spent hundreds of hours looking at films, into the internet for old films, Jewish and non-Jewish. I was searching for archive materials from Jewish families before the war, and I found a lot of them. A lot of films, Greek films, not documentaries, but fragments of fiction films made in 50s, when the landscape and the surrounding of Greece was almost the same as it was during the occupation, like in 40s. I used also fragments from fiction Greek films. And of course, photographs of the 5 characters from Jewish communities before the war.